When I first laid out all my rock wool and started a bunch of tomato plants, that was like the most demoralizing 3 weeks to a month ever, just waiting for this plant to be big enough to actually transplant into my garden. So fast forward a few grows, and now I'm gonna try something totally different. This time, I'm gonna buy a bunch of tomato plants, 20 tomato plants from a local nursery, and I'm gonna bring them home and transplant them from soil into the tower garden. See if I can go ahead and just skip the entire germination rock wool process and put them right into the tower garden. So the first thing I'm going to do is take each individual cherry tomato and I'm going to just lightly kind of break up the bottom a little bit with my hand so that it slides out of these little plastic containers easier. And I've tried a bunch of different ways of breaking up the roots, and honestly, this might seem kind of crazy, but the way that I found with the most success is actually to put your hose nozzle on that laser mode that like hurts your foot if you shoot it with it, and then just blast the roots. This breaks away all the loose dirt. Any roots that are really weak will break away and the strong ones will stay. The biggest thing to be concerned with here is that we just get as much of the dirt out of the way as we can. We don't want to bring any like unknown organic material into our tower garden. That could cause problems. So once we wash that off completely, for some of the ones that had more developed roots, I actually cut a very small hole in the bottom of the net cup so that I could slip some of the roots in, and then I just tucked hydroponic clay pebbles around the net cup. I found that worked the best to keep them in the net cup, to make sure they don't go flopping out of the net cup so we don't have a rock wool cube like you typically would. Actually lost 3 plants, I believe. All right, and then once we have them all in the net cups, we're gonna put them into the tower garden and let them grow. Okay, and I did some pruning here. I do plan on doing a whole tomato pruning video, but I'll just run through really quick the way that I'm pruning these. For anyone who knows tomato pruning lingo, I'm running a dual lead Y split for all of my plants. I'm not gonna do any more than 2. So that means I'm gonna be taking all of the suckers that come and all the suckers that exist right now. Basically, I'm just leaving one main stem, and then I'm gonna allow one sucker to grow and create one Y. And then from that point, I'm gonna have to continuously pull the suckers off so that those Ys don't turn into more Ys, and those Ys don't turn into Ys. And instead, I can just focus these Ys to produce really, really good, really hardy cherry tomatoes. Because I feel like 18 plants is plenty on this tower garden. I don't need to allow them to just go crazy and overgrow this entire thing. In fact, allowing them to do that could cause a lot of problems with airflow. When you get them so bushed up tightly on the garden, you can't get air to move around, and that whole area of the plant can end up dying and rotting, and that can end up killing the entire plant actually. Another pruning technique that I do, especially when transplanting these, because you want to get them to grow these really big strong roots and you want them to focus on growing out and growing more veg, I'll actually take off the first set of flowers. So until they're about 18 to 22 inches tall, I won't let the flowers grow in. And what this does is it actually refocuses the energy. Instead of focusing on growing tomatoes, they're focusing on growing more vegetative growth, and they're focusing on sending the energy to grow more complex root systems. And don't forget about my summer promotion. If you're in the market for a tower garden and you pick one up through my affiliate links below or right here, I'm gonna send you my full tower garden education, Master Your Tower Garden, absolutely free. I just want you to get started off on the right foot. I also have a lot of great free content over at humblegrowthhydroponics.com, including the Tower Garden Master Guide, which is like a 35-page guide that you can pick up for free. That'll get you started on everything you need to know about getting your tower garden started. Look forward to meeting you in the comments, and until the next video, let's grow together.